Good morning, everyone. I am Ashish Negi, pursuing my data science and business analytics internship at the Sparks Foundation under the Graduate Rotational Internship Program. So, here I am with my data science business analytics task number 4, that would be exploratory data analysis. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah. So that would be exploratory data analysis retail, performing exploratory data analysis on the dataset SampleSuperstore, and on the behalf of our business manager, we will try to find out the weak areas where we can work to make more profit using the dataset SampleSuperstore. So the data, so here I have I have opened my Jupyter notebook, and same documents have been provided on the GitHub and the YouTube link too. And firstly, we will go on the README text. It consists of the basic workflow or the implementation behind my EDA. EDA stands for Exploratory Data Analysis. So whenever I would say EDA, that means that I'm referring to Exploratory Data Analysis. So I have provided the link of the datasets that I am using currently, and this is my dataset that I'm currently using. So it's a CSV file, and you can also fetch them with the given link. Yeah. So in the EDA is actually an approach to analyze the dataset, summarize with their main characteristics, and often with their visual methods. And here we will be referring to the visual methods using the library. Yeah. So the basic workflow behind the implementation of EDA is we will be reading the data, understanding the data, cleaning the data, plotting the data, and at the end we will infer some conclusions from the plots. So jumping over our codes, yeah. So in my code, I have classified the code into few steps. So first step would be the importing all the library files. So as you can see that I have imported Seaborn and matplot.library. Seaborn is actually a data visualization library that is built on the top of matplot library and closely integrated with the pandas. So it will be very easy for me to analyze my data and plot its graph. You can also use the link that I have provided here for the dataset. Yeah. So going through the data, firstly we will be reading our data using using the path that I have given in my dataset. Your path may be different according to your computer or according to your computer configurations, right? So I have used the function head that is used to get the first n number of rows that I am having in my data set, right? And now we are trying to understand our data using the describe functions that give us a concise summary of a data frame. And then we will be using the describe, where all the basic statistical details like percentile, mean, history, and minimum, maximum, top, unique, all such things are included. And next we will be checking out the data types of the of the fields or the columns that we are using. So here mainly objects, integer, and float type of data types are present. Thus we can conclude that our data types are absolutely correct and no changes is required. And our next step will be the cleaning the data. Firstly, we will be checking that is there any null value present in our data set. And as we can see that there is no null value present in our data set. So next our step will be if to find is there any duplicacy in our data set. So with the output we can see that there are multiple duplicacies. So firstly we will be removing the duplicacy using the drop duplicate function, right? And as we have dropped our duplicacy, so our output will be 0. Our second step will be unvitrate the analysis on data. Univitrate and bivitrate analysis will be the two things that we will be using in this data set. So firstly, using the univitrate, we will be analyzing the segment of people buying from the supermarket. Mainly with this output, we can conclude that the consumer segment is the most number of people that are visiting our supermart, and using that data I have tried to plot a graph using the percentile. I converted them into the percentage, yeah, where you can see this, yeah. So I have converted them into percentage, and using the graph I am trying, yeah, you can see that I have passed a function called plot, which plots my bar graph using the color key. I have passed the color green, and by default it's blue. In future we will be using the blue color only. That is our default color, yeah. So with this graph we can see that the following conclusions can be made, like 50% of people belongs to the consumer class, and 20 to 30% of people belongs to the corporate and houses offices. And then with this we can analyze the data using the ship mode for the supermart, and with this output we can see that standard class that uses the ship mode, that the ship mode of the standard class is the highest ship mode that we are using. And similarly plotting the graph using the percentile functions and plotting it, as I have told you that that blue color is the default color, so we are using that here only. And with this graph, we can conclude that most of the deliveries were made along the standard class, around 60%, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So another analysis that I have done is the category. Like the basic category, the three categories that we are using is the office furniture, office supplies, furniture, and technologies. And using the same data, I have plotted a graph. Now, further moving on, I have classified the data into subcategories, and the subcategories are like the binders, papers, furnishing, phones, storage, and etc. With the above graph we can say that from 9 to 15% the subcategory falls under the office supplies. It's not fails, it's actually the false, so sorry for the mistake right now. Yeah, I will try to figure it out in the later way, yeah. And from 2% to 8% the subcategories belong to the technology and furniture, yeah. As I have told you that we are performing the unibitrate analysis earlier. Now currently we will be pursuing the bibitrate analysis, yeah. So using bibitrate analysis I have used a few functions like subplots, scattered the data that is mainly used, and applied the lambda functions on the colors. And colors that I have chosen for the segmentations is I have used the yellow color for the consumer, green color for the corporate sector, and yellow for the home office segment. So using this graph we can clearly say that there is more profit in the consumer segment. And using the pivot tables this is the pivot table 1 and this is the pivot table 2. So in this pivot tables I have passed the values sales, segment, discounts, median, and in the next pivot tables I have passed the values profit, segment, discounts, and median. In this pivot table we can conclude that the discount given more than 30% had made the superstore or making loss, and the discount between 0 to 20% has made the sales of superstore was average and was gaining profit to some extent, as depicted by these pivot tables, right? And further, we using the same data, I have classified the segments and tried to plot the graphs on the basis of their discounts. So it's the bar graph or the graph of the segment consumer and the discount, and later it's the consumer and the discount with the point 2 increase. Here is the consumer and discount with the increase of 0.8. And with these above segments we can say that the superstore, if scoring or if offering the discount less than 40%, it's going to be profit, as it depicted above the graph. Yeah, here you can see that we are having our good profit. And as we move to the higher range of the discounts, like up to 80%, then superstore is going in huge loss. So we should try to find out a way out there. And here the category is furniture, and the discount given is 0.2%, that is 20%. Here it is here we are using the category technology, where we are giving the discount of 30%. And here the technology we are giving a discount another 30%. Office supplies discount 30%. Office supplies discount 30%. I think you might be worrying like, what is this happening right now, why I'm getting the different graphs. Actually, it's the data that is currently I'm manipulating with. So with the above graph, we can conclude that the categories office supplies, furniture, and technology. When the discount was less than 30%, sales was going into profit. And as I have increased the discount offer with more than 30%, the superstore experienced a huge loss. So I think I should convey this to the business manager so that he can work on it. Yeah. And furthermore, I have tried the segment and the discount. So with these segments, we can clearly show that if the stack is true, that is if we are having a profit median. It's a profit median that I currently function that I'm currently using. So using this graph, we can conclude that the exact scenario of the profit of the all segments and the discount was offered by the superstore. Yeah, here is 0% when I'm giving a discount of 0.1%, 0.15%, or 0.2%, 3%. It's the whole thing that is the case where I am giving the discount to every segment. So it's a plot of this. So we can see that whenever we are giving a plot of, or whenever we are giving a discount of 0.30% up to 0.30%, like with here from 0 to zero point 0.3, from 0 to zero point 0.3, we are having a good profit. But as soon we go to the higher discounts, we are going on the losses. So this is something we should work on. And with this, I would like to thank to you all. It's an audience like you that makes the presentation awesome. Thank you very much for your unwavering attention with throughout this presentation, and cheers. And I would like to request you, if you want some more content, do subscribe my channel and please comment down your queries. I will be readily or willingly, I would like to answer all of your questions and doubts. And with this came to our end of session. So thank you.